Hi dearest YouTube family, I'm back here on the 23rd of September 2020 to share some visions and words the Lord's given me around the 8th and the 9th of August this year. And the reason I'm showing you pictures of the Chinese terracotta warriors is that this vision was about China and war. And I have known in the past, since 2017, I've received a series of words and visions about China. And all the time that I'm shown their soldiers, it's always in this type of old costume, or the old warrior costume, sorry. So, brothers and sisters, what I saw were men such as this sitting in chairs. So the chairs were like modern day chairs. So it's interesting that the warriors are always ancient warriors, but that he is speaking about the modern times. Um, so what I saw was a temple garden and rows of chairs, and the warriors were sitting in the chairs listening to some people of authority in front of them. And I'm going to show you the type of setting I saw in my vision. So this particular photo that I found is so similar to what I saw in my vision, everybody. Except this area here, you can see the little garden. That wasn't garden, and it was all paving here. And the rows of seats ran this way. And they were all facing the authorities that were sitting under this roofed area. So it was just so similar. So there were rows of soldiers listening to people in authority. And I knew the Lord was saying that China was meeting, and they were discussing strategies. Or that's what I felt, brothers and sisters. I could be wrong, but in myself, that's what I felt. So the fact that they were warriors makes me fear that he may have been talking about war. A little while later that night, the next vision I had was of a clock, and it was very similar to this, but it only had one bell on top, not the two. And there was one other crucial difference, and I'm just going to show you another photo to illustrate that. On the clock face, there were no hands. And immediately I thought about the meaning of this, and my initial reaction was no time. So I feared that whatever was being discussed would not be too far away. Now, I was praying about this on the 10th of the 8th, so that was 2 days later. I was praying about the clock and what those visions meant, and this is what I heard the Lord say. Sorry, I'll just get it clearer for you. I've heard initially, it is done. September, October 1948. Now everyone, of course, when I first heard 1948, I thought it must be in regard to Israel becoming a nation. September and October. Now I know that they became a nation earlier that year. I think it was March through to May that process happened. So I went online to see what happened in the world in September, October 1948. And it was very interesting that I found both China and Israel were fighting to claim land. Now the reason I played that little just short clip of the cheering was when the Lord said these words to me, that is what I heard in the background. I heard people yahooing and celebrating behind the message that I had just received. So whatever had happened at that time, there were people cheering and happy and celebrating. So brothers and sisters, what was happening was that China, the Communist Party of China, was going province by province at war with its own people to get them to surrender to their regime. And when you look up what's happening in the world in 1948, you will see that there were several, um, I guess, fighting against several provinces, and there would have been celebration on the part of the party because there were victory after victory until eventually the Chinese Republic was actually announced and the communist regime took over altogether. So that was happening at the same time. Israel was at war also because they were going to different areas that had been annexed, and they were having like a civil war for areas such as Beersheba, the Negev desert, Upper Galilee, and these were all attacked by the Israel Defense Force. So that was happening at the same time. Now it was interesting that Upper Galilee was mentioned because the vision that I received straight after these words was of two lakes, but they weren't huge like the Lake of Galilee. So I'm not sure what this part means. So if any of you happen to know what this might mean, I'd love to hear from you. I saw two lakes side by side, fairly small in size, and to me they seemed like they were in country where there was some elevation. And that's all I can say about that. I don't know what that's all about. So, brothers and sisters, it's a really interesting series of visions and dreams over those 2 nights. And I feel that the words given here are serious in nature, and the reference to China and the warriors does concern me somewhat. And the fact that there was a clock with no hands, meaning no time, um, I just think we need to watch what's happening. So, brothers and sisters, I just want to really recap very quickly what I've heard in the last couple of years about China and the warriors. This was the first vision that I received on this topic in 2017. I think it was something like the 13th of July 2017. What I saw was a hand start to draw um, a man in costume, very similar to this. And I saw the drawing happening before my eyes. And initially I thought it was a samurai warrior in Japan. But after a series of other visions and dreams, I know now that the Lord was speaking of China. And brothers and sisters, I feel that I should direct you. The best thing would be for you to go and have a look at the video I made on the 22nd of the 12th, 2017, and I'll show you what the thumbnail looked like. So everyone, that thumbnail that you can see in the middle is the thumbnail of the video I made then. And if you go back and watch that, it's not super long. You'll get a really detailed account of the visions and dreams I received about China and the miraculous way that the Lord showed me it was definitely China that he was speaking of. He actually gave me the name of a novel. Sorry, it wasn't a novel, it was a historical account of the Chinese dynasties. I asked the Lord, are you speaking of China or Japan? And he gave me the title of a book as his answer. And the title he gave me was Record of Heroes. I had no idea what that was. I looked it up online, and there it was. It was a historical record of the Chinese dynasties. So I just thought that was absolutely miraculous way of the Lord clarifying whether I was being told about China or Japan. But brothers and sisters, if you watch that video, there's some incredible things that the Lord showed me about these warriors, about China, and it's just interesting, and it will really make what I've just shared with you stand out and seem more important. God layers our visions and dreams. He gives us snippets and builds on the picture bit by giving us a series of words and visions about the same topic, and sometimes it can be over years like it is in this case. So everyone, I hope you find this interesting. Um, yeah, I think I'll stop there because it just gets confusing and too much information. But yeah, blessings to you, brothers and sisters. Keep alert, keep watchful. That is what the Lord has asked us to do because He is coming and He is coming soon. That's what He told me. I am coming soon. Okay, brothers and sisters, blessings to you all and speak again soon.